There we go. I am.
I've never seen you without your glasses on. Yes.
Really?
I
Okay, I think I did it once. Let me put that in the bin. You're not going to touch it, okay?
That's okay. I'm liking all those funky pillows.
Oh yeah. Mariam didn't want this one anymore, so that's why I've got like a off-coloured one that doesn't match my room in here.
I love them, but Nanny kept telling me that there's
Okay.
no space in my bed.
Well, welcome back, everybody. It's officially April 29th, 2020.
Yeah.
Those hands were awesome. And it is our 15th installment, our 15th episode, whatever you'd want to say.
Session.
15th session, yeah, of this self-isolation support.
Session-sode? Episode?
Self-episode. Oh, man. So we took yesterday and the day before off. Xenia, I think, is going to join us if she can make it on. We might have to cut today a little bit short. I am still not feeling 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had weirdly a lot of dental problems this year, and right now is not a good time to have dental problems because it's hard to get in to see a dentist.
Yeah.
I'm really interested. What did you do about that?
I called around and had a consult, and I have a really great dentist. So shout out to Dr. Somali, and they're going to get me in, but it's not really urgent. So I'm just kind of avoiding any cold kind of stuff or very hot stuff and chewing on this side. Yeah.
Oh. How? Mariam said, how?
Yeah, right?
Very carefully.
Very
carefully.
I mean, it's Ramadan now, so I'm
mm-hmm. Yeah. How are you folks doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I would say that. I'm doing okay.
Okay.
Feeling up today.
You're feeling up?
Yep.
Oh, I getting the thumbs up from Yaz. Yeah, it's nice to you. I opened the pool. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just finished before I hopped on this call, just finished cleaning it and backwashing the filter and gonna get it heated up because we're supposed to have some nice weather coming up.
Yeah. Going to the beach.
Yeah, I wish you folks could be here to, stay 6 feet apart, but dangle your feet in the pool. Could barbecue a little bit.
We'll stay on the deep end and you stay on the shallow end.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but I'm wondering if that's even not allowed. Like, Steve, if you wanted to come over and just sit with your feet in the pool and let the kids swim around, could you do that?
I feel like that's okay because it's a group gathering of less than however many people, right? So
okay.
Like I don't want to send the cops in my direction, but was it last week we had a friend over? One of Adele's friends came over and we had a fire in the backyard, and she kept her distance. And we had beautiful conversation and drank some ciders, and it was really wonderful. But
how many of you were there in total?
There was only 3 of us.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you're following those protocols, and especially if it's at something like your house, then really what can happen? I don't think the bylaw officers, unless your neighbors call the bylaw on you.
Yeah, I mean, we did something a little bit similar. My sister, she was she's not got her garden in order, so she was like pining for a bit of sun when the sun was out. So she goes, can I borrow your garden? So I let her in through the back gate. I locked my patio doors. We could open the windows. We opened the windows and the curtains so we could have a conversation with her.
Oh,
we were like talking to her from the upstairs window as well. So her and her daughter came over. Her daughter's, how old's Anissa? 24. Yeah. So we was having a good conversation. So we did it. I don't kind of like that.
Do we actually?
Very nice.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yes, they're the classed as patio doors, Marianne.
Huh.
Yes. Big doors that open to the garden. Yeah.
Totally.
So that was nice. So I can imagine that must have been nice for you with was it a barbecue you had or fire?
Yeah, we have a chimney, like a little fire pit in the backyard, and so it's like just have a fire, have a couple ciders, have some conversation. We didn't hug when we left, and Like she left at the back gate and she kept her distance the whole time. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's talk about chimeneas for a second, because I'm sick of I got rid of my old metal fireplace. So I had this nice metal fireplace in the backyard. It had like a porcelain undercarriage kind of thing where you could dump the ashes from, and it had some porcelain grates so that I could grill on it, which was quite nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I used to do oh shoot, what are those things called? They look like bananas, plantains.
No, plantain, yeah.
Yeah, I used to do plantains on the grill. They were nice.
You don't like plantain, Mariam?
No, they taste weird.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You haven't had plantains that I've cooked, Mariam.
Oh, I tend to burn them when I fry them. That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
So
It's just like anything that looks like a banana. And
That's like I grew up not liking spinach, and it was only because my mom didn't cook it well.
No, she says it.
Till I was 25, I thought spinach was just disgusting, but it turns out that it's actually okay.
I love spinach. I would eat spinach for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, she likes spinach.
Oh
It's just
yeah,
like,
I
it
could do the
looks
same.
like a
Mariam.
banana. She goes, it looks like a banana. She don't want to eat it any other way.
Well, so I grew up, we never had spinach, and I always thought maybe that's because spinach is gross. Like I remember watching Popeye and he would, eat the can of spinach, and I couldn't relate to spinach. I always thought, oh, well, maybe it's just something gross, that people have an aversion to. But that's what gives Popeye his superpower. Like maybe if we all ate spinach, we'd be ripped, and, so this is the mind of like a 4 or 5 year old, right? And so we go to my grandmother's house, and she's cooking spinach, and my mom is like eating and eating and eating the spinach. And my grandmother says, "Sandy, aren't you allergic to spinach?"
Oh my
And my mom
God.
goes, "Yeah, but it's so good. I love it." Or she broke out in hives, the whole 9 yards.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah, our kids love spinach. Like, I'll just put a handful of spinach on Ellis and Ava's plate and like raw, and they'll just like eat it up like it's chips.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's
I love
crisp.
spinach.
Like it's crisp.
Like it's
I wanna
crisp.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good.
So Steve, where do you, because there's that place on Highway 6 that sells chimeneas, right?
Chimeneas. Was it the Grasshopper?
The Grasshopper. Don't
Yes,
act like
yeah.
you don't know. This is the biggest hippie place you've ever seen, Yaz, and I guarantee
It is.
you could see Steve smoking pot there like every week.
Well, the whole side wall is just like a tie-dyed mandala, right? Like,
That's right.
Oh
for
wow.
sure.
That's right.
Yeah, I like that store a lot.
Sounds like a cool place.
Is that where you
Yeah.
got your chimenea?
No, we actually got our chimenea. Adele found it. Somebody had maybe got a new one, and they left this really nice metal one just out on the sidewalk. So Adele went out for a run one day, and then she came back, and then she just grabbed the car and left, and then she came back with this like really nice chimenea.
Nice big metal chimenea.
Yeah, but I think I'd like to get one of the ones from Grasshopper, like the clay ones.
Yeah.
They're very nice.
Well, the metal ones are hard to maintain. Like you have to buy like MacTac or some kind of like metal spray paint.
Yeah, something because they rust really easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I used to cover mine up with like a tarp every winter. It would still rust like crazy.
Yeah. So if the time comes, we'll get a new one. But for right now, it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Whenever Grasshopper is open again, I feel like it's not an essential service.
It definitely is not. But I bet you they're probably
Yeah.
doing curbside pickup or something. Maybe I can call them. And see
Maybe.
if I can get one.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, get a chimenea or some yoga blankets. Some incense
Do they sell
Or
yoga
good-
blankets?
or a good pipe. Yeah, they do actually sell yoga blankets. They do sell good yoga blankets there.
Okay. So should we settle in and do a brief meditation?
Yeah,
All right. Would you be willing to have me guide you folks through meditation today? Would that be okay?
sure. For
Oh,
sure.
I'm getting the double thumbs up from Yaz. So please find yourself seated in a comfortable posture. I'm going to close my eyes and invite you to close your own. Let's just have a moment to connect here on this Wednesday. Give yourself the gift of slowing into your body, having some breaths. Bring some motion into your body if you need it. Even just wagging the neck, moving the head from side to side. Just finding ourselves in a posture where you can rest. And see if there's any softness that you can invite into different places in your body that you may be noticing here. Perhaps allowing the muscles around the mouth to relax, and the jaw. Allowing the muscles around your eyes to relax. Just noticing whatever you may need in this moment. And noticing the places that your mind drifts, the thoughts that rise up, distractions, sounds in your environment. You need not be without distractions. My invitation to you is to breathe them in. Notice them. Allow yourself this time to be with your experience. And when you're ready, fully just embracing this moment, allow yourself to turn your attention towards this session, this time we have together. And even as I say that, I can't help but notice a slight smile come over my face. Just notice whatever reactions you may be having to spending this time together. Brings the motion into the body, like a wiggle of the fingers, rotation of the wrists. I always enjoy a good shoulder roll, rolling the shoulders up, forward, and down. Perhaps up, back, and down, whatever works for you. Moving the head from side to side. And when you feel ready, allowing your eyes to open, returning to this space that we share together. Welcome back.
Welcome. Thank you. That was nice.
You're very welcome. Thank you for joining me. Hey, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Grunfeld says hi, all. And the hands are back. I love it.
Grunfeld
says
she's refusing to sit on my bed because I haven't washed the blanket today.
Just today? Today you haven't washed?
And if I slept in the blanket and I haven't washed it, then she's like, no, I think I'll pass. So I was like, I can't wash my blanket every day, sorry.
No.
It's not a workable agenda.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how you get some alone time, is I refuse to wash my bed.
Well, She's standing here quaking. Let's turn this around. Let's see.
No.
Oh, I like the make myself as small as possible. You can't see me.
Like the Elephant Man, like, don't look at me.
Oh,
Don't look
I
at
love that
me.
you've gone all in on the pink. Yeah, it's like that's not an accent wall. That room is pink, yo.
This room is pink. This is my room. This is the first time I've had a chance to have my own room, my own space, and this is my space, and it's pink.
I want a pink room.
You want
So
a
our
pink
friend
room?
Grunfeld says, hi all, the big smiley face, just about to dish up a curry here. Very nice. I've been making some curry myself lately, my friend. I made a green curry this week.
Ooh.
Nice to see you all, says Ollie.
Curry.
We've been doing some pizzas, lots of pizzas.
You've been making pizza?
Yeah.
Very nice.
And then order wheat last night. So was that yes?
Oh, are you making it from scratch, or you're buying the bases, or?
Usually we make from scratch. So we have a couple, like I have a couple, and Adele has a couple good crust recipes, and then we'll just whatever toppings we like and vegan cheeses. And
I
last night we actually
guarantee they have a cauliflower crust recipe.
we totally do. We totally do. Yeah.
Wow.
So the cauliflower crust. I have one that I make that's a gluten-free crust that it's more like a biscuit.
Oh, cool.
And then sometimes we'll do, like Adele has a couple really good crusts that she does too. Last night we actually bought pizza though. We ordered it and then I picked it up.
Riveting story.
How you finding access to gluten-free food during the quarantine?
Well, that's the great, like my wife, she's been a cook as long as I've known her. Like she was actually working in a kitchen when we met. And she's worked with several different kinds of food. So that the place that I met her at was sort of like a health food store in the area known as Goodness Me. And so they do a lot of vegetarian.
I thought you guys met at the gym.
Free. No, I was working at the gym that was right beside Goodness Me. So I would go into Goodness Me to order food on lunch, and then she was the manager of the kitchen at Goodness Me at the time.
Oh.
Yeah. And then my wife has also worked with like a lot of raw food chefs and stuff like that. So she knows her way around the kitchen. She makes her own gluten-free flours usually.
Okay. She sounds super cool.
She is super cool. She's very cool. Yeah, she's a wonderful woman.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so she does all the gluten-free stuff. So that's not an issue for you.
Yeah, but we're like, neither of us are gluten-free. Like we're definitely not celiac, and like I'll eat other people's shares of gluten if I need to.
Okay.
like I have no problem ingesting or digesting gluten. So
okay,
I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's an issue for me because I've got IBS. So I can't finish the kids' leftovers. Oh, we've got Ollie.
Ollie's on.
He's joining us.
Cool.
Here he comes.
Trippy.
Whoa!
Hey, now that looks weird.
Northern Lights.
That's not supposed to be there. How did I do that? That was experimenting earlier with Zoom. I'm going to see if I can.
It's a cool effect, though.
No, I totally think you should just leave it like that, man.
Just so that everybody knows, Zoom has this ridiculous feature where you can
switch your backgrounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have a virtual background, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Does anyone know how to turn that thing off?
I do, but I don't want to tell you how because it's
I'm going to work it out. By the way, does my audio sound a little bit better?
It sounds a bit better.
Yeah, see, there you go. I've been, thank you. I'm glad that works, even if this Northern Lights thing is not quite up to speed. Oh, man.
So what you have to do is you have to go to what type of computer?
There we go. I think we're on it.
Oh, there you go. You got
Mario was enjoying the Northern Lights, and I could hear it like going, "Oh."
I was trying to work out how to get the audio better and how to get but I also did that in the video as well. Yeah.
That's cool.
External microphone. That's what I've discovered.
Yeah. What are you? So Steve is on headphones, which has improved his audio majorly. I'm on a USB mic. What are you using, Ollie?
I'm not going to pick it up, but it's because when I did that last night, I'll give one little go. Is that coming into view?
Nice.
Oh, it's like a Zoom mic. Yeah.
It's a little Zoom mic. I use it to record band practices and stuff like that.
For sure.
It's got a dodgy cable connection. So when I did it last night, I managed to eliminate all my audio. So oh dear. Well, I've just had a Balti. A curry. Just had a curry.
You've had a bowl of curry.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better as well.
Good.
So much better. Still not back at work. That'll be next Tuesday. But oh my word! Well, that was.
What happened with your test?
Oh, it was negative, but that didn't surprise me greatly because I mean, what that really says was I was negative at 9:30 on Friday morning. If I'd have been tested when I was like just leaving the bed completely drenched in sweat over the previous weekend, I'm sure it would have been positive. Wow. So we still don't have those antibodies. We still don't have the antibody tests. I've still got this residual respiratory thing. I'm not worried about it, but just want to get up to spot. I'm just fed up with feeling ill. But it's nice to have strength returning.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know that feeling when you've gone down the gym and maybe you've done too much and your legs all turn to jelly? That was
Do I ever?
Yeah. That was me all the time. So that's not happening anymore.
Wow. Good.
Yeah. I can't remember. Has anyone else here had it? Steve? Yes.
No. Neither has Xenia.
No.
So hang on. You're saying that you're not surprised that you tested negative.
The test is not amazingly sensitive.
Yeah.
That's the real problem with it. So they stick something like an Apple Pencil that kind of goes all the way up. It's really unpleasant. But not desperately so. But if they can't find any virus on that and amplify it, it's going to come back negative. So I think it's only testing positive for people who are like, hospitalized and severe symptoms. I don't know, but I'm a lot of
like where the pathogens are clearly like spewing out of their body.
Yeah.
I was speaking to the lady from occupational health this morning, and she's just saying loads of people are testing negative. So the test is not brilliant. So we're just doing it from symptoms. Yeah, strange stuff.
That's really strange.
Yeah. One bit of good news. Another bit of good news, which is really nice. The two hospitals where I were, I can't believe we had 18 wards completely full of COVID. That's now come down to 14. So so that's an improvement. They've managed to reduce 4 wards. So we're heading in the right direction in London anyway, a little bit of East London. And
great.
It's good. And my colleagues are saying that they feel that they're coping and they feel the peak has passed. Still a way to go, everyone, but it's that horrible bit seems to have gone.
That's really good news. Yeah. That's really good news.
Yeah.
I'm really weirded out by all of this stuff around the testing. Is it because it's this novel virus is so new that's why it's hard to develop testing? Like, what is going on?
I don't know. Because other countries appear to have done it well.
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. In Canada, we're not. Let me be very clear about that. And then I've also heard before on one of these sessions, I was talking about how there's a rapid blood test that I guess it's funny because if the wall's here, I was gonna say if I put my arms this way because I'm to the left of Yaz on the screen, it'll look like it's my doing that.
He's giggling.
Totally. Or if you reach your hands up above, up above your screen, like reach up like this.
Oh, and then don't worry.
because Steve's below me on the live stream.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
can't
So
hide my
the
arms,
company
bro.
in Canada that manufactures the rapid blood test, I guess it doesn't test for if the virus is active. It tests for the antibodies.
I'm still very dubious that that's a good test.
Yeah. Well, what I've heard is that test only that they are typically being conducted up to 3 times until there's a positive, because I guess it's only about a 30% sensitivity.
Yep.
Yeah. And then someone else was telling me that apparently there's many multiples of strains going around, hence why it doesn't seem like people, even if they're testing positive for the antibodies, that they're actually immune, that they're getting COVID a second time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want it a
I don't know-
second time.
I don't know if you guys follow this person. I might be able to find his YouTube channel. He's just an audiophile kind of fellow geek. I mean, Ollie, you've got a Zoom recorder. Yaz, you're probably feeling a bit left out here. Steve has got a Zoom recorder. I feel like if
I
you have
got
a
my
Zoom
H4n
recorder,
Pro.
yeah, then you're an audio nerd. That's why we're geeking out about the same. Miriam, I'm sure you're like, what are these guys talking about? But there's this audiophile who I follow on YouTube. He's got a great YouTube channel, and he's been talking about his journey with the coronavirus, and this is blowing my mind. He, for 30 days straight, was testing positive for the actual virus, not for the antibodies, but like for the pathogens.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, where is he getting these tests? And he was very frustrated, like, and how come we're telling people to stay like self-isolated for 14 days if you're still can be contagious like long after you're not showing symptoms? It's just, it's blowing my mind. Are either of you, is anybody surprised to hear this, or is this
absolutely
what you've heard as well?
I think it will just turn out to be a wide range of normal. So I don't think it's going to be like, oh, it's 14 days. There seems to be such a wide spread of symptoms, such a wide spread. And 30 days positive testing is, so that's been up his nose 30 times. God, it makes your eyes water. That's
And I may be misquoting, so I'm going to share his last video. So it was published April 11th. This is just a few weeks ago, and he's saying, "This is hopefully my final video on my personal COVID-19 experience, as I'm happy to report my first," and he writes this in all caps, "negative test result. I went on a regime of hydrochloroquine with azithromycin and zinc in hopes to lower my viral load for a negative test result, and it seemed to help. I held on to a positive COVID-19 diagnosis for over 35 days, the longest in the state of Florida, according to the Department of Health, and I'm happy that it finally appears to be out of my system. I'm going for one more test to confirm the negative so I can come out of isolation and rejoin my family. Please do not self-medicate and consult with your doctor." Love that he's appropriately putting this out there.
Yeah.
The purpose of this video is only to share my experience with the drugs, not to suggest a course of treatment from anyone affected with COVID-19. So this is this gentleman's channel is called Audioholics. So I'm gonna throw a link into the super chat, and you folks can check that out if you're interested in his journey. He's been kind of vlogging, documenting his experience, all of course recorded in high fidelity audio. Pretty powerful stuff.
I don't know where we are on the medications front. I read 3 studies on those medications that are very early on, and the first study was the methodology was just terrible. I mean, you've got to start somewhere, and there was a replication study which was a better methodology, and the third study was sort of half, getting towards respectability and using data, but it wasn't. In no way did it suggest that those medications. I mean, there is a plausibility for the medications. Yeah, definitely, there's a plausibility there. But the third study I read, and then I stopped reading any follow-ups. the third study didn't seem to suggest, actually it suggested that it was not of any use. That was a bit of a mouthful. Did you follow what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
So, yeah, in other words, the medication's of no use. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think I'm so glad that you're saying that, because we know so little about this virus, right? Like, I was reading a study that was showing how it appears to be stripping iron from blood cells, and that appears to be one of the main reasons why so many people are having difficulty with the uptake of oxygen. There's just so much, there's so much interesting advancements being made, and hopefully we learn some life-saving stuff soon.
I'll tell you what, symptom wise, my symptoms have been absolutely parallel to like anemia, because I've had anemia in the past, and I actually thought I was just coming down with anemia again. I can't remember if I said this last week or not.
No.
I thought I was anemic, and it was only like a new line manager that said, "Mate, you've got COVID." This is what my staff are telling me.
Okay, now hang on. That makes perfect sense with the idea that the virus is stripping the iron from the blood cells. So for folks who may not have an understanding of what anemia is, can you describe that, Ollie? Like what anemia
sure. So as a pretty much a lifelong vegetarian, I always try and eat pretty well. Every now and again, my iron levels do go. So it's the iron levels will go down. So I don't eat meat or any sort of sources of iron. And what it feels like symptomatically is just massive amounts of fatigue and weakness. Those are the big. I mean, I think there are other symptoms as well. Some people talk about itchiness and stuff like that. But it's just, I'm trying to remember what a normal age. I'm 183. I'm a regular guy. I should have an HB sort of, I think about 13, 14, something like that. And anemia is just where I know, here you go. If you have an operation and you lose a couple of pints of blood on the floor, then you are going to be anemic. That's the I see a lot of that. I certainly used to see a lot of that. How about, sorry, Yaz, can I ask, do you ever get anemic?
Not really. I've had my older daughter, she was kind of anemic when she was going through her eating disorder stuff. So I think she's a bit better now. Even though she's a vegetarian, it's like she seems to be generally okay. Yeah. A lot of spinach is probably a good idea.
Spinach.
I live on spinach.
You live on spinach. That's good.
And tonight, asparagus. I don't know whether asparagus has got iron. I hope so. I've had loads of it.
Look, I've seen loads of asparagus in the shops, you know.
Yeah.
They seem to have loads of that, but not much of anything else.
So that's basically it. If you're vegetarian, you want your green leafy vegetables.
Yeah.
Good source of it.
Good source of iron.
Even Mariam iron tablets as well. She has iron tablets regularly.
I eat iron.
So.
I eat iron.
bars of that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because Mariam's iron was quite low, and then that was affecting her emotional well-being as well.
Yeah.
So,
ill a lot.
Because she was getting ill a lot. Her vitamin D levels were low. Her iron was low. She was fatigued. She had trouble going to school.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So then, so when I took her to the doctor, there was like, this is low, that's low, and it's like, okay, that would explain why she's feeling like that as well. So
I took like 3 blood tests in 2 weeks.
3 blood tests in 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna get another blood test later for some reason.
Yeah. Can you hear her?
Just about.
Just about. Yeah. So the iron is really important.
So I wonder whether COVID does have this relationship to iron. Who knows? I mean, it's going to be fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely fascinating. So I have to begin to wrap up. Sadly, Steve, do you want to guide us through a brief movement practice if you folks are open to that?
Yeah, for sure. I would love to do that. So this one's going to be done in standing today. This one's another standing one.
Oh no!
Great.
Oh no! Sorry, Ollie, you got to get up.
No, this is where you see I stood on the scales this morning. 4.5 kilos I've put on.
I'll make sure my wife's unmentionables are out of the way. Where did everybody go? There you guys are. Yeah. So I've been playing around a lot lately with, I'm going to throw out a bigger term here, ocular vestibular systems.
Okay.
So what we're
that's
talking
easy.
about
Say
there,
that one 5 times fast.
ocular vestibular. I lost it already. I got 2 out. Yeah. So what we're talking about here is just noticing the relationship between where our eyes go in any given situation and how that begins to affect things like balance and proprioception. And so sort of the exercise that I want to do, and I'm going to give people a couple options. One is to sort of come into more of just like a standing lunge. So one leg forward, one leg back. Or the other option is to be in more of just a standing balancing position with one foot off the floor. So some options. So if your balance is, what I'll usually say in classes, if balance is not your greatest ally, you might go for the easier variation, which would be an asymmetrical standing position like a lunge, or a standing balancing posture. Right? So it's like choose your own adventure. How difficult do you want this to get? And so I'm going to go lunge. And for this exercise, it doesn't really matter what leg is forward and what leg is back. If you're in a lunge stance, in this exercise, it doesn't matter which foot is off the floor and which foot is on. And then you're going to take one of your hands out in front of you, and you're going to kind of look at your finger. You don't need to aggressively stare at your finger like you wanted to shoot a laser through it. Okay. And then the recommendation is go slow. And not just slowness from a balance perspective, but also slowness from a sensing perspective of being able to feel what the byproduct is. And so from there, you're going to try to maintain your position and then start to move your finger off to the side. And you're going to follow the finger with your eyes, okay, and with your head.
Whoa.
And what I want you to try to notice is how far you get the finger off to one side before you really begin to compromise balance. And so again, if you're choosing to do the one-legged standing posture, then you're definitely making this job more difficult for yourself, for sure. And then start to track the finger back to center. And then if this was a yoga class, we would also say something like, can you maintain a certain level of smoothness to your breath as you're practicing balance? Good, and then you're going to switch sides once you come back to center. I think this time I'm going to go for standing balancing posture, just for fun. Okay, and so again, the finger comes out in front. Okay, and taking a moment to feel the position, feel the balancing, okay, and then begin to move the finger off to the side and just track the finger with the gaze.
This side is so different.
Cool, that's good noticing, right? Yeah, you're definitely going to be more coordinated and more stable on one side. One of the ways that we begin to increase the difficulty is to go faster. So, yeah, so like, can you move quickly? Like, can that system, can the ocular vestibular system, that's one of the ways that we begin to load that system, is to challenge it to do its job a little bit quicker. Okay. So can you, like, with a little bit more rapidity, go off to one side and then come back to center? Yeah, and then you can lower down, shake it out. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I really love it, and like one of the reasons why I'm getting so into it these days is this idea of one, that the vestibular, like the ocular vestibular system, is so important as we get older, right? For maintaining balance, for maintaining a certain level of proprioception, even for maintaining, like, I'm going to say, like, eye health, like being able to actually move our eyes in their sockets as opposed to them almost becoming like stuck or rigid.
Yeah, I've heard it is definitely one. Well, it's one of those systems that definitely degenerates with age, but
yes, yeah, but I also think that it's one of those systems that we tend not to exercise.
I think
Like,
you're absolutely right.
Right, that we're not like we're underloading it is the term in sort of like the movement world these days. It's like, yeah, you can overload something to the point of injury, but you can also underload something to the point of dysfunction, right, or a lack of function.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
Very cool. Nice practice, Steve. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
We're gonna have to maybe tomorrow have you guide us through a longer practice, because this is just such a pleasure, you know, to have. Would you be open to that, Steve?
Yeah, like I'll totally do like a solid 10-15 minute sequence if you want me to.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah,
And so maybe we can do that tomorrow. Our friend Laura followed up and was just commenting on the conversation we were having about iron, and was saying, I'm deficient in iron. My current level is 4. And she was saying that it's actually really common in women to have difficulties with iron deficiency.
Yeah.
Wow.
And another symptom for women is that if your iron levels are low, you get really bad period pains.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, not all women, but it's like, yeah, and iron levels seem to drop.
I drink oil, so it doesn't hurt.
So it can really, yeah. Most of the women on my side of the family would get really bad period pain. So it's like I tend to start checking iron levels when somebody's in a lot of pain regularly.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow. Very interesting stuff. And the hands are back. I feel like that's like a Monty Python video thing, just like little transition hands. All right. Hey, for this April 29th, 2020, thank you all for joining us here live. Steve, Ollie, Yaz, Miriam. Lots of fun to hang out with you folks. Ollie, really glad to hear that you are on the mend, my friend. I've been thinking.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and rock up tomorrow as well. So, yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Right on. That would be greght.
Cool.
Okay, so we will see you folks tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. I'm going to go take care of my sore mouth, and I'm going to continue cleaning the pool.
Yeah, take care, guys.
For a swim, Steve.
See you.
I'd like to
Yeah, please. Yeah, I'd love to come over for a swim.
Not practical. Bye, everybody.
All right, bye, guys.